Hi everyone! Today we are going to do an unboxing video of the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron Mark 43 Iron Man. So my name is Greg and I'm here at Heroes Beacon and we're going to unbox this guy for you. So we just got it here this week. As you can see, the packaging is really nice. It is die cast, so it's got a bit of a heft to it. But of all the Hot Toys products I've gotten in, this one's probably the best I've seen in terms of packaging. So you just slide up the upper sleeve, and there's the inside, which is foam. It sort of looks like carved stone, which is kind of sharp. So this comes out as well. And carefully, by carefully I mean super carefully, because something goes flying. Open that up, and there he is. So Iron Man comes with a couple extra repulsor hands, his tops of his gauntlets there, the little missile accessory for his arm if you wanted to have him armed up, the visor for the open face mask, the open face Tony, which is really nice and probably what I'll be displaying him with. I find the Hot Toys figures, they're really well done in terms of their face, so definitely want to have that showing. And then the actual die-cast Iron Man figure. So really made sure this was well packaged. There's plastic everywhere. I'm not entirely sure how to. But he's got battle damage throughout, which is really well done. Plenty of articulation. So he has some good joint movement. The chest lights up, as do the helmet. Whoops. Just flip that off. The helmet does light up as well. So this does come off, and under here is actually the battery compartment, which I will get to later because I don't want to break this thing on video. That would be just awesome. Now on the underside, another tray. So they give you batteries. Each of the repulsor hands has a light as well that lights up. So there's batteries for each of the hands, batteries for the head, and batteries for the chest. So you're going to get a ton of batteries. You also get a little tiny screwdriver to help you get to them. There's a destroyed sentry that sits on the base, which is actually really well detailed. There's some articulation there as well, if I'm not mistaken. And there's the Avengers Age of Ultron base for him to stand on. Now what's interesting, I guess, is this is actually a repurposed Dark Knight base, because there's some grooves there that actually aren't used for anything with Iron Man, but they were there for a pillar on the Batman statue. And I do notice that, I don't know if this is different or not, But the figures now all come with these clasps. Which we need to look. There we go. So I need to loosen a bit. Now I had gotten a the last figure I got didn't have this. Sorry, the first figure I got, because I had a Tony Stark from Iron Man 3. And he did not have the clasp. He actually had not to figure how to set this up properly, or in a way that I like it. The clasp, there we go. So again, some good articulation on the joints. This guy does come with a manual, which you probably should read before you fiddle with him too much. There are some panels in the back that can be opened up. The battery compartment's right there. I believe that's the button for the lights or something else. I'll have to look. Yeah, overall not too bad. So this is the contents of the Iron Man box. Everything's all out. So you have the extra mask for his face, the mask with the lamp LEDs, the extra hands. You have a palm with flexible digits. You have two open palms with the blasters. You have the wrist guards for the open palm. You have the extra forearm with the missile. They give you a small screwdriver to get the batteries in. He does come with 12 batteries to power the chest light, the LEDs in the arms, and the LED in the head. Of course, there's also this wrecked armor that can be used as decoration. You can place it anywhere on the base as you see fit. It's actually really nicely detailed. The paint on it is actually pretty solid. There's some flexibility in the arm joint, some flexibility in the head, so you can pose it really in a way that makes sense and then set it on the base however you'd like. This actually looks pretty cool. The base is pretty sharp, very well detailed. There is a clasp used to keep Iron Man in place. Now for the Iron Man himself, he's actually pretty flexible. There's a good deal of mobility in the joints. There's some tabs here that slide up when you move the legs up, so they can sort of allow for some better posability. He's pretty posable. So you can see there's a lot of the scratches and scuff marks, so he looks like he's been through a fair bit. Now I can't get a really close view on the face with this camera, but the eyes are actually, there's actually eyelashes around his eye, and there are really fine veins you can see if you were to look really close. I only first noticed them in pictures I had taken when I zoomed into the photos. Now his facial hair, if you look closely at that as well, it's not dry brushed. It's actually done individually, so there's individual whiskers that have been painted on, so that's pretty sharp. Again, really good flexibility in the arms, some good arm joints, arm motion. So this comes out a little bit just to help with some of the flexibility. He does have, actually pop his front chest plate off as well, very carefully, and exposes some of the inner workings there. So this is really well painted as well. There's the two different tones of the gray. There's the flaps in the back as well. There we go, get this up. So it's there, and you can see there's the power switch too. for the battery, or for the chest light feature. There you go. Now there is some flexibility as well in the legs, and that you can actually put them in more of a seated pose. There's a little tab here, and when you push on it, it allows this to pop out a bit to give your legs some more forward flexibility. Same as through the chest. This actually comes up a bit to allow you to get some side to side. So there we go. So it comes up, so it gives you a little bit more flexibility side to side. Gives you more up and down as well. You can put that back down again. Now, his mask just sits on there with magnets. If you want to have his mask on, if you want it to cover his face, again, it just sits there with magnets. So really, really well done. Quite clever. Now, one problem I had with the head, I actually have had a couple problems with the head. First and foremost, if I take his head off to switch it out with the LED one, so it's got double ball joints. If you look at the LED head, that ball joint should have stayed in there. But either because of the temperature or whatever else, it seems to be quite happy sitting inside of this head. So it's going to be a pain in the butt trying to get that ball joint back out if I want to get the LED head on. But that's not a big deal. I kind of prefer this head for display purposes. I likely won't have the LED running all the time. So the LED in the chest is actually fairly bright too. Works really well. Now, with the other head, the one with the LEDs, I had some issues with this. I've had, like, this is the 5th hot toy I've had, and the first one I've ever had any real problems with. So I had the ball joint with the hand, that was a little odd. That head ball joint's a little odd. And for this guy, so there, you open this up, take the mask off, take the top of the head off. That's where they hid the light switch. So if you actually want to turn the lights on for his eyes, you have to take the head apart, which is kind of a pain. Looks really good, but it's not terribly easy to turn them on and off. The issue I had was when I first took this mask off, I noticed these metal tabs had actually remained stuck to the magnets. The glue had actually come off. I had to re-glue it. I had just used some crazy glue and glued it back on. So that was a pain in the butt. Then one of these magnets came unglued. Again, same problem. So I had to re-glue it. So that wasn't much fun. The batteries in here were a pain in the butt as well. You're trying to get 3 small watch batteries into a spring-loaded little battery compartment that's placed in between 2 magnets. So every time you try to place a battery in there, and lo and behold, it gets stuck to one of the magnets. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but nothing too bad. So out of the bunch, the only real issue has been the hole being too small in the hand. There's nothing I can do to fix that. Like, I can't just crazy glue it. I can't, you know, I don't dare try to widen it and damage the toy. So I contacted Sideshow. They said yes, they would send me a new hand. So I'm not too terribly concerned about it. That's great. I'm glad. I got a really quick response from them, so I'm pretty pleased. So if you want to place the other hands on, all you need to do is pop this guy off. You can take off the wrist guard if you're using one of the open palm hands. If you should decide that you want to use the rocket forearm, well, this is just stuck on with magnets. It's actually really, really well done. This comes right off. The magnets are very strong. So there's the metal on the inside. They just clip on there. There's the bottom one. Clips on there, and there you go. Like, that was super easy. It's not going anywhere. It's stuck on there pretty good. So you put on the wrist guard that matches the hand you want to attach. and very carefully attach the hand, and there you go. So he's got, again, really, really good articulation on these hands. I'm always really surprised with them. The switch is right here near the armpit, and there you go. Really good LEDs, really bright on both left and right hand. So yeah, that's Iron Man. He is fairly heavy, really nice. I'm actually really pleased with him. I did have a few problems with mine, but the problems overall are pretty easy to overlook. Again, the only major problem I had was with the size of the hole in the open palm, and they are sending me a brand new hand to replace it. So that's pretty minor. Customer service sort of took care of that. I've seen other reviews of this guy, and I haven't seen any similar problems, so it seems to be hopefully a one-of. But if you do have any issues with yours, just contact Sideshow or wherever you received your toy, and they should be able to get the issue resolved for you. So again, recommended. Very happy with it. I've been looking for an Iron Man toy for a fairly long time, an Iron Man hot toy specifically, and I was really glad to pick this guy up. So thanks for your time.